Okay. We thank you very much. Yeah. Okay. Right now, I think you might like to hear something from us. Nice and easy. I'd like to do that for you. But there's one thing, you see. We never, ever do nothing nice and easy.
But I never lost 1 minute.
We always do it nice,
Worried about the way
rough.
things might have been.
We're going to take the beginning of this song
We'll keep
and we're going to do it easy.
Proud man,
but then we're going to do the finish rough. It's the way we do. Proud Mary. One more again. Say we rolling, rolling, rolling on the river. Listen. Left a good job in the city, working for the main every night and day. But I never lost 1 minute of sleep. Then I was worried about the way that things might have been. It will keep on turning. Proud Mary, keep on burning. And we're rolling,
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 rolling.
We're rolling on the river.
Rolling on the river.
Clean a lot of plates in Memphis. Pumped a lot of train down in New Orleans. But I never saw the good side of the city till I hitched a ride on the riverboat Queen. Big wheel keep on turning, and the primary keep on burning, and we're rolling,
Rolling,
rolling, yeah.
rolling,
We're rolling on the river.
rolling on the
So we're
river.
rolling,
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 rolling, oh,
rolling on the river.
rolling on the river. 2, 3,
Job in the city, working for the man every night and day. And I never lost 1 minute of sleep, worried about the way things might have been. Big wheel keep on turning, proud Mary keep on burning, rolling, rolling, rolling on the river. And rolling, rolling, rolling on the river. Clean a lot of plates in Memphis. I pumped a lot of train down in New Orleans. But I never saw the good side of the city till I hitched a ride on the riverboat Queen. Big wheel keep on turning, and the primary keep on burning. And they're rolling, and they're rolling, and they're rolling on the river. Rolling, rolling, rolling on the river. Yeah. All right. Yeah. Listen. If you come down to the river, bet you're gonna find some people who live You don't have to worry if you got no money. The people on the river are happy to give. They will keep on turning. Proud Mary, keep on burning. Rolling, rolling, rolling on the river. Rolling, rolling, rolling on the river. All right, rolling, rolling, rolling on the river. Oh, yeah, rolling on the river.
Hey everybody, this won't be really long, but I'll be out here in these YouTube streets. Here's the thing, and I just have a question for the beef sector, and I guess I should ask the vets. And mods, if I start breaking up, because when I listen to the playback or when I watch the chat, because I don't really pay attention to the chat when I'm going in, let me know if I start to break up or if it starts to get choppy so I can refresh, please. I have a question for the beef sector. Welcome, Shelly. Hey, Nikki, baby. Hey, Six Figure Days. Hey, Queen of the South. My question for the beef sector would be, at what point does your self-appointed new king, because see, QB is supposed to be the new queen. See, the drunk, the bald-headed ballerina, the albino ape said that he was a prince. But see, the self-appointed queen of the beef sector, hey, Pizarro, hey, Too Blessed to Be Stressed, hey, Triple. See, your self-appointed queen appointed QB she said he was the new king. I'm sorry, I don't know what rock I was hiding on, but I always heard Sean Bradley referenced to as the king or the king. So the self-appointed new king, which is supposed to be ItsMeQB, I'm just trying to figure out, at what point does your queen come to the battlefield solo to finish the war, to fight the war that she started? See, she was the one who waged war. See, over here in the black sector, at some point, and I can't speak for everybody else, but I'm going to speak for myself. See, at some point, I'm going to retreat, right? And I don't care how long it takes, because I've already said I'm a very petty, very vindictive, very spiteful bitch, right? But here's the thing. Am I supposed to fight a whole nigga? Right? And see, the other thing that Mother talked about, hey, Jay Dunn, the thing that Mother talked about when I went to visit Mother's channel today, aka Spill It Boy, he talked about what was good for the goose being good for the gander. And what a lot of these people like to do is once they feel safe, see, once they get doxxed the first time, which is why I never rely, I might use it to obtain preliminary information, but I never solely rely on information that's already out here, because I know what tends to happen is once people contact the courts like QB did at the Cook County Courthouse and asks them to remove the record and then uses the fact that he's a domestic violence victim to get certain records concealed. See, well, herein lies the problem, Mr. Gillenwater. There's always another database. As a matter of fact, there's several databases. And the truth of the matter is, you can get your information removed from one database, even the public database, but it doesn't mean it's going to be removed from all the databases. So if it's good for the gander, and there was all this smoke and mirrors around these false receipts that were dropped on Pastor Wilson, whom y'all call Jay Weasel. What about QB's history of domestic violence? See, because QB is either one of two things. Either you were always in abusive relationships, or either you too yourself were a domestic batterer. And if it's good for the goose, is good for the gander. Were you the victim in each of those ass whoopings? See, we the people want to know about the ass whoopings. And I just want to know if it's standard beef sector policy that when you're in an active beef, you go, right, to somebody else who's decided to dogpile, that only decided to jump off of the porch. See, what was interesting to me when I tuned in briefly for a few minutes ago is that there were people in your chat that were actually telling you in your chat room that Kwani ain't gonna do shit, that they were not impressed because Kwani only decided to jump off of the porch after the beef with me and Fabe actually popped off. So my question would be, is your response, when are we going to get an answer for why Fabe put out false receipts, lied about stolen valor, and when are we going to see the birth certificate or the death certificate? Fuck all of that talking to other. No, we want to see proof. We want to see the queen of receipts drop some fucking receipts. Again, everybody had an issue. All of Jay Wilson's enemies, even though they were being told that the receipts and the source of the receipts has a history of doctoring receipts. You've seen proof of how he dropped and passed around fake receipts as it pertains to me. The interesting thing is that Kwani put those fake receipts on her community tag. And I want to say shout out to Tracy with the T. Mods, if you could drop the link to Tracy's channel. Tracy, you are getting so good with your edits and your actual uploads where you're actually creating content and stitching together the sound bites. Because when you posted the link of the rant that Kwani did, one of the things that Kwani has, but I want y'all to see how fake and phony and fugazi these motherfuckers are. Before I G-checked Kwani, and I'm not even, I've already told you, I've just been basically sparring with her. I haven't even begun to give this bitch body shots yet. I delivered. Didn't I tell you before it's said and done? See, before I went in on a bitch, it was being told I wasn't welcome to St. Louis. But I told you, by the time I'm finished with the bitch, she's going to be begging me to come to St. Louis and put her out of her misery. And I was able to accomplish that. It didn't even take 24 hours. So I fulfilled that promise. It didn't even take 24 hours before she took to her platform and started begging me to come to St. Louis. I'm going to come to St. Louis when I'm coming to St. Louis. You'll know when I get there. So I still have some time to torture you, bitch, before I get there. And again, I have friends in St. Louis. It's a free country. I can go any goddamn where my coins or my vehicle allows me to go. And that's just the fact of the matter. So we can just check that off of the list of the things that I told you would happen. That happened in not even 24 hours. The bitch was on her platform begging for me to come to St. Louis. But it was interesting to me that Kwani was the very one who called QB and Fi Babe out on the fact that they were fake receipts, that was not my residence. But because Kwani is making a bunch of empty threats, because the bitch ain't gonna do a motherfucking thing, and I promise you the bitch is never going to see me coming, so she's not going to get the opportunity to carry out a single threat. Yeah, it might sound, it sounds real spicy, right? To say, if you come in a plane, you're going to leave in the belly of the plane. Yeah, it's catchy. But there's a difference between it being catchy and a bitch talking spicy and a bitch actually delivering. See, when I told you that the bitch was going to be begging for me to come to St. Louis to put her out of her misery, see, that's called delivery. But anyway, if it's good for the goose, it's good for the gander. So the question would be, are you all going to hold QB to the same standard that you were ready to nail Pastor Wilson to the cross with fake fucking receipts? We're still waiting for the mugshot. And again, those of you that are fucking experts on all of these jailhouse lawyers, all of these people that like to go around the platform and brag about the fact that they don't have a criminal history. Well, that's not true about you, is it, QB? Because you actually do have a criminal history, do you not? Of course you do. But a lot of times when they appeal to the courts to get their record scrubbed, they think that means it's safe to get up here on YouTube and start talking spicy about people who actually have criminal histories. But you have a criminal history, don't you, QB? So my question is, are you all going to hold QB to the same standard that you hold everybody else to that has a criminal history, or are you going to resort to hypocrisy like you normally do? See, nobody's going for the deflection. The way to prove whether or not you had a child that died at 3 months old is to produce proof of a birth and proof of a death, point blank, period. Or anything and everything else is deflection. I'm not interested in anybody that she can, hearing any interviews from anybody she can pay off. The bitch just got popped with receipts when it came to another YouTuber dying, right? She bought a bitch out here that claimed that she didn't know Fi Babe. She was just reaching out to her because she accidentally heard, she just happened to be in Clyde Diva's chat room. And she just happened to make the connection that China Doll was somebody she knew and grew up with. That all of that's just coincidence, right? And when she got popped for the receipts, she got in her feelings. Remember why she got in her feelings in the first place, right? She got in her feelings because I said it's something sour in the buttermilk. That's why she got in her feelings. And she considered it a sign of disrespect. Because I called her out on her bullshit. Be clear about that. That's what that bitch's issue was from the very fucking beginning. Because I found inconsistencies, not only in her commentary, but in her receipts. I had questions. I was skeptical. Remember, that's what she got offended about. The fact that I didn't buy her strategic commentary, which was nothing but cap. See, that's what set it off in the first place. Right? Ain't that what set it off? She felt disrespected because I had the audacity to question receipts that she put out because I seen receipts. Well, she didn't put any receipts out. She actually brought somebody onto her platform that claimed that they knew China Doll, right? And that China Doll was not deceased. Because if China Doll was not deceased, then that would have debunked everything that Tracy said, which is that she was contacted by the woman's husband and told that the woman had passed away. They questioned whether or not that was actually her husband that went over there to Pastor Wilson's platform. But apparently, everybody, is suffering from temporary amnesia, convenient amnesia. Because the purpose of that chick that she brought onto her platform, coming onto her platform, was supposed to be to debunk the fact that China Doll was dead and that that man was her husband. And then Rita went to her platform and showed receipts that that lady had been knowing Fi Babe. She didn't find her by accident. Those receipts dated back a couple of years. Hey, the People's Lounge, right? But it was all to discredit Tracy. And because I came to my platform and said, listen, y'all, before y'all jump on that bandwagon, go over there to Rita the Baddest Roasters channel and look at those receipts. The receipts are indicative of this woman having known Fi Babe to the extent that she tried to run interference between a beef between Fi Babe and Rita. So this is not some random chick that just happened to be in Clyde Diva's chat room. And the topic of discussion just so happened to be China Doll. And she realizes that this is her friend that she's known all her life that they're talking about. So because I had the audacity to question based on receipts that I've seen with my own two eyes, she felt disrespected. No, bitch, you felt disrespected because you're used to people buying your bullshit, hearing you lie, knowing that you're making inconsistent statements, and nobody questioning you because everybody blows smoke up your ass, especially the clout chasers, because they looking or expecting to benefit from association with you in some shape, form, or fashion. That's what ass kissers do. That's what clout chasers do. See, if I gave a fuck about who you were on YouTube, I wouldn't have never done that. I would have kept my mouth closed like the rest of the motherfuckers do when they hear you making inconsistent statements, like them chicks in your chat are required to do, despite the fact that they hear you make a statement. One day, listen, this chick got popped, and you got popped by people in your own sector. QB was using Kwani's triggered rant to explain away what? We're still waiting for Wi-Fi Babe put out fake receipts as if they were real, right? As if that was where I lived. And we want to know why her military service, her work history that nobody else, she put on LinkedIn doesn't add the fuck up. That's what we, the people, want to know. See, the entertainment is nice, but we want answers to the questions about the fucking lies that you've been called out on. Fuck your deflection. See, you can be motherfuckers over there in your 40s playing motherfucking games with all the strategic commentary you want. I'm going to tell you what this sector gives, bitch. And nobody but clout chasing ZX is fucking buying it, bitch. But I want y'all to pay attention to how these bigger content creators come to the platform with all of this entertainment. Why do I always use the analogy of the Wiz? Because you remember when they went to see the Wiz, they were all enamored by the green lights, the red lights, the gold lights. And at the end of the fucking day, the motherfucker that they believed had the power to do all of these things was actually a fucking coward that was sending them off as minions to do what, y'all? To kill their enemy, which was Eveline. He had no power. He was a coward. And he wanted Dorothy, the Tin Man, the Lion, and the Scarecrow to do his dirty work. He ain't have no power. He was a fucking bum that ended up there by accident. And as long as he was behind that curtain, he was, you remember when they asked her, when Dorothy said, well, what's the whiz? Well, what's the whiz? Oh, honey. Bottom line, numero uno. Sweet thing, let me tell you about the world and the way things are. Yeah, He was powerful. He didn't send him to go kill Glinda, the good witch, right? He wasn't worried about Miss Juan. He wanted them to kill Eveline. And he sent them off to do that, like crash dummies. So I'm not impressed. And I see your deflection. I see your gaslighting behind all of the smoke and mirrors. And what did I tell y'all these bigger content creators do when they're called out on anything? They entertain you to deflect from the questions that are being asked, that are basically fair questions. Why are you over there? First of all, getting information you're not doing it. Kwani herself told you were being lazy. Kwani herself, see, why didn't you play that commentary, QB? Why didn't you play Kwani calling you and Fi Babe out on showing the wrong fucking house? Why didn't you play that commentary? Why didn't you play that soundbite? Because at some point, after I finish airing you out, because apparently I got to show you motherfuckers what doxing is. After I finish airing you the fuck out, I'm not going to address you anymore. Because at the end of the fucking day, I don't respect the fact that you're attempting to help a bitch that waged war against me fight a war. She's not fighting her own battle, a battle that she initiated, a war that she started. And why did she start it? Because I wasn't buying her bullshit. And despite the fact that I knew the bitch was a bullshitter, when she came over here and humbled her motherfucking self, I gave the bitch the benefit of the doubt and let her breathe. I'm not in the beef sector. So what goes on in the beef sector is not my concern. So I wasn't invested in it in the first place. So why didn't you play that part of Kwani's commentary? Why didn't you play Kwani calling you out for the fact that you had put out false receipts? But you're going to play some triggered rant that I don't give two shits about? Because the bitch won't see me coming. She won't have that luxury. It's really just that simple. And I know exactly where she works at. I'm waiting for a call back from the Human Resource Department as we speak. That I expect it to take place Monday or Tuesday. I'm not going to put that information out just yet, because what will happen is motherfuckers will start to flood her employer. The same way they did with Cape Air. And what happens when employers get flooded with those type of calls? Not only does it raise a red flag, but it gives them the opportunity to be able to put out the narrative that people on social media are just fucking with them and stalking them and harassing. When I'm done with her employer, then I'll make that information public. And not a moment before. So y'all can keep on thinking it's a fucking game, but I'm just trying to figure out who's playing the game. See, you all are motherfuckers in your 40s. Up here. See, I'm not up here to provide entertainment. I'm not here to provide them with content. And that's just the fact of the matter. Again, this isn't the beef sector. So a part of them relying on people going back and forth, all of this strategic commentary, I'm not playing that motherfucking game. That's not the way I fight. And I made that clear to every last party involved. I play high stakes, winner takes all. This back and forth shit, entertainment, oh, get the people in the room and get them laughing. Okay, well, you're laughing. You're laughing, but are they answering the questions as to why the fuck they played in your face and lied? Or why they put out false information? You're laughing, but is the bitch showing you a birth certificate? You're laughing, but is the bitch showing you a death certificate? But she's pulling out receipts from 3 years ago. To do what? To do what she did when she put that information out there for 7 stars. To do what she did when she went over there and told Rita that I was not supporting her. When she said I wasn't sharing her shit. When everybody knows I share links from while I'm live streaming. I don't have to plug a channel on a community tab if I'm plugging it in the chat all throughout the stream. So she's attempting to do the same thing with Duchess Kelly Love. The strategy is the same. So apparently it's a lot of motherfuckers that ain't doing no tracking. No, bitch, I don't track. I pack bitches the fuck up. Signed, sealed, and delivered. A whore at your motherfucking door. No return sender, bitch. And apparently, this bitch is suffering from a case of motherfucking Munchausen syndrome by proxy because she's up here to read the Heart of Philadelphia. Went live basically showed you early this morning. And if I had the time, I would share the video now. I may do that a little bit later on. But she showed you what a mother receives when a child is deceased. If she has that for a child that died at birth, why wouldn't a bitch have at least some of that for a child that passed away at 3 months old? But nonetheless, that was the excuse that she used to wage war on Duchess Kelly Love. Of course, because she had to come out with some type of receipts after she had just got popped for putting out false receipts. And as I've said, that's just not, when motherfuckers have no type of credibility and they're just known to just lie and lie and lie and lie and lie and people just believe it. Well, then that means that those people are okay with supporting a bitch that's a pathological liar, a scammer, and a master manipulator. And they're free to do that. But I'm not going to waste my time beefing with a bitch like that. Because what that goes to show is that the people that are supporting her are not going to hold her accountable. They don't care. What they're telling you is they don't care if the bitch lies. They don't care if she lies on other YouTubers. They don't care if she lies on moderators and subscribers. It's okay for her to lie until they're the ones that she's lying on. See, that's how that works. It's never a problem until they're the ones that are being slandered. There's always this double standard. Again, they ran to their platforms, both QB and Five Babe, and gave commentary about Jay Wilson being a domestic abuser. Well, the fact of the matter is QB has convictions for domestic violence on his record. Are you going to hold him to those same standards that you're holding Jay Wilson to? No, because that doesn't fit your narrative. And I'm going to keep this under an hour. Hey, guys. Hey, everybody in the chat. Happy Friday, everybody. I want to show you what sneaky motherfuckers like QB do. And they believe that they're safe. While they get up here and see, the fact of the matter is, I'm going to tell you why they shouldn't be shown any mercy. Because you have relentlessly heard him and Fabe. My nickname is Cookie. They've been calling me Crookie. What about QB's record? And you'll see this time and time again. They jump on bandwagons when it's convenient. Oh, look at this person's record. This person is a criminal. This person is a crook. This person went to jail. Well, QB went to jail too, didn't he? And I don't have but one conviction. So they're basically holding it against me for crimes I haven't even been convicted of in a court of law. Cases that were dismissed, cases that I beat. But they're using that same rationalization when it comes to grown folks TV. Well, it's not a conviction, but it's a charge. Again, if it's good for the goose, it's good for the gander. But this just goes to show you their hypocrisy. That's why I don't give a fuck about what they say, think, or what they feel, or about your fucking belly aching. And I'm still not finished tearing Kwani's ass out the frame. I'm just sparring with the bitch. I haven't begun to give the bitch body shots yet. Or go upside her head with left hooks and right hooks. Both virtually and literally. I'm not impressed by none of that shit Kwani's over there talking. The fact of the matter is, apparently, neither were the people that were in Sean Bradley's chat last night. Because they're saying Chipper the Air is saying in QB's chat the same goddamn thing he was saying in Sean Bradley's chat. Which is the only reason why Kwani jumped off the porch, is because other people in the beef sector started beefing with me. Again, so let me be clear. The motherfuckers that Kwani's over there calling the grand poobahs, do you need backup or no? Do you fight your own battles or no? Does the queen, the self-appointed queen of the beef sector, the queen of 1K, despite having 50,000 subs, does the self-appointed king, the new king, QB, do they need backup or no? Why are you using somebody else's commentary in your beef? You're supposed to be doing the dragging. You're supposed to be doing the roasting. You're supposed to be doing stream for stream. You don't get the victory for using somebody else in a comment, somebody else's commentary that just exposed you as putting out fake receipts. The bitch just basically popped you by going to her platform, somebody that's from your own sector, saying those receipts that you put out are fake. And that she wasn't impressed with the way that you and Fabe were fighting. See, why didn't you play that commentary? You can't use somebody else's drag or somebody else's roast. That's a part of the laziness. And it just goes to show, again, what Mother was talking about. Miles, if you could drop the link to Spill It Boy's channel, please. That just goes to show. You're still using somebody else's work. You're still stealing. You're using somebody else's commentary to fight your battle. But it also goes to show that there's not a standard that they're being held to. They can bring their audience somebody else's content and then get paid for it or get the accolades for it. They don't have to put in the work themselves. When are you going to require them to put in some fucking work? They're not putting in any work. They're using other people's work. You can sit there through a whole stream and play somebody else's shit and just laugh and laugh and laugh and laugh and laugh. Where's your drag? Live stream for live stream. But before you get to the dragging, we want answers. Apparently, they're not holding them to that standard. So what that tells me is that they'll be allowed to lie repeatedly, and nobody's going to question them on it. I don't beef with people like that. That's a waste of time and energy. I'm not here to provide entertainment or to give them content or something to talk about. Because what's going to happen is that I'm going to start coming to my platform and going back to my content. I'm not going to go back and forth with a motherfucker that I didn't even start a war with. That's actually basically what they're showing you is that Fire Babe is not going to fight her own battle, which is what Spill It Boy said a couple of months ago. She wants to be able to play victim. She can't play victim if she's fighting with another bitch. A live reaction and you got a nigga sitting next to you. There was no beef between me and him, bitch. You involved him in the beef. You pulled him in to help him as backup to help you fight your beef. Not one fucking time when I have ever addressed Fire Babe has there been a single motherfucker on the platform with me. If you need QB to help you fight, bitch, say so. Say that then. Say I need QB because I can't beat Cookie by myself. Say that then, bitch. Say I need help. Say we're not confident that we can do a motherfucking thing with her. Iman ho. So the only way we feel we have a chance is the dog pile. Say that then. Other than that, these motherfucking shenanigans, I'm not about to play these shenanigans with these motherfuckers. I'm going to air your ass the fuck out. I'm going to give you a master class in what the fuck doxing is and show you how to do research. Show you how to get your hands dirty and to do it dolo. And you'll leave with me walking off the motherfucking battlefield because you don't want to fight your own motherfucking battles. I'm going to air each and every one of you motherfuckers out that tried me one by fucking one. And then I'm going to get the fuck on. That's how that's going to go. All of that ranting and raving, Kwani did. Did she have any answers? See, people get so distracted by the singing and the performing, the shucking and the jiving, just like the typical jigaboom, just like the typical buck dancing nigga that's there to entertain and put on a show. Did the bitch have an answer for why she doesn't own the fucking house that she lives in, that she's been telling y'all she owns? Does she have an answer for why she got all of this and all of that? She's so much of the upper crust, she's so much of the upper echelon, but the nigga who she's claiming is this good husband, this good virile man. Why the car he's driving is in another bitch's name that got the same last name as him. See, that's what all the singing and all the performing is supposed to distract you from. How long has the bitch been telling you she owns not only that house, but several properties? How long has the bitch been telling you she's been married? She's talking about other people's situation, the way they raise their children. And bitch, you dealing with a nigga, you having kids with a nigga that has an extensive criminal history. Not the motherfucker that you're claiming that you're married to, that you're not married to. But you have children, or at least a child. Because keep in mind, when I show you the records, you're going to see it's not multiple children. That's one child. Did anybody have the cliticular or the testicular fortitude to ask this bitch why she's up on YouTube talking all this black supremacist shit, but she's skinning and grinning and shucking and jiving with white people? And it's not that it's anything wrong with it. It's something wrong with getting up here spewing that black supremacist motherfucking rhetoric. And then people see you shucking and jiving with white people. That's hypocrisy. It's fake and it's fucking phony. You couldn't see nothing but teeth with white people a couple of feet away from a family that she was getting ready to marry into. Did you see any disdain in her face while she was there? But she gonna come online and pretend she got issues with white women and white men on fucking YouTube and talk that pro-black shit. She can cut other people off for having dealings or associations with non-black people. But you see pictures of her skinning and grinning with her brother that's married to a white woman. This is why nobody takes black people seriously. This is why you will never be able to win the argument that other races of people can't call you certain things, can't say certain things, and can't do certain things. This is the reason why. Because they sit back and they see this type of hypocrisy within your own race. These are not people in their 20s. These are bitches in their 40s and in their 50s. But it's a problem with interlopers. Child, maybe the interlopers, and at the end of the goddamn day, who wants to be around motherfuckers who have no integrity, that have no honor, that are hypocrites, that talk out of both sides of their mouth and out their ass at the same time? Who wants to be around people like that? Who wants to be around pathological liars that'll get together in a clique and start attacking you because you exposed the lies? What that goes to show you is that these motherfuckers have no integrity. They're willing, this is the reason why they're easily duped. See, because at some point, the subscribers are not victims. They only become victims after they're not getting what the fuck they want. Or whether that individual rejects them. Or if they do something to them. They're knowingly and willingly going along with the bullshit. They know a motherfucker is lying and they refuse to call them out on it. Which just goes to show they don't have any fucking integrity. They're okay with somebody lying to them. Well, how does that make them a victim? Okay, well then let a motherfucker lie to them then. If they want to give their money to a motherfucker that's lying to them, let them do that. If they want to allow a motherfucker to get up here and play in their face and say, here's the other question. When you're putting out information that's inaccurate, you're actually putting somebody else at risk. Because if you know how many ops I have, and you're saying, here, she lives at this address. This is the address. And that's not my fucking address. You're putting the people who actually live in that house at fucking risk. Because you think these people are stable, they're not. The fact that they would allow a person to lie to them, the person gets exposed as a lie. And they want to make it a point to publicly show it doesn't matter. We still going to drink the Kool-Aid. We still going to go from chat to chat. Okay, listen, that's a lost cause. I don't deal with lost causes. Those are lost causes. Those type of individuals, you have to leave them to their own demise. That is a total waste of time and energy. If the motherfuckers want to believe the lies, let them believe them. If they want to be mind-fucked, allow them to be mind-fucked. But me, I don't see motherfuckers like that when they come back circling their wagons, talking about this person did that and this person did that. Okay, well, what did you do when that person did that to me? What did you do when that person was doing it to other people? When that person was running around lying on other people, did you see that's a problem? Was it a problem then? Was it a problem when you sat back and cheered it on as they did it to somebody else? And I've seen time and time again where other content creators will open up their platform and let them come on and tell their story. No, fuck them and their story. That's just my position on it. I can't tell somebody else what to do on their platform, but that's the reason why I don't do that. Because a lot of times I've seen where people on YouTube, it doesn't matter whether it's a content creator, a moderator, or a subscriber. I've seen people do that. And the minute that content creator says, come on back into the fold, whatever I've seen motherfuckers recant an entire story of victimization in order to be accepted by one of these content creators. And to get a wrench. And to get to play around in their chat. And to get to click their links to get up on a bigger platform to be seen. I've seen it. I'm not impressed. So when I see that type of pattern play out with people, That's a lost cause to me. I'm not going to waste a lot of time and energy with that. Hey, Rita. But I'm going to show you the type of sneaky shit that motherfuckers like QB do when it comes to concealing their records. And then I'm going to go ahead on and close out. Yo, I got to make a run real fast. I got to pack card up. Take him down the street to my niece. You see this shit like this here? And that's just a part of a record, right? It's one or two things. See, when you look at that, that looks like a victim, right? What about your alias, QB? What's your alias? Hi, Tony. Do you see the P? Do you see the D? The P is for plaintiff. The D is for defendant. Again, the P, where it says party type, is for plaintiff. The D is for defendant. And I want you to, I'm going to show you how slick some of these motherfuckers are. And how they're able to get certain shit concealed. And then get up here and talk about other people being criminals. Or having criminal records. And then I'm going to show you his actual record. And I want people, I just want you sit back and watch whether or not they hold him to the same standard that they was willing to hold Pastor Wilson to, had those charges been actually, again, in the state of Texas, doesn't matter if you've been charged with a misdemeanor. In the state of Texas, if you get arrested, you have a mugshot. Where is the mugshot? With Pastor Wilson's name matching those records that ZX put out. Ain't it funny? QB could call out ZX's receipts as being fake. But he ain't got no commentary. He ain't got nothing to say about Babe putting out a fake address. Double standards, people. Again, if it's good for the goose, it's good for the gander. Ask them if they ran a reverse check to find out if it was any of me or any of my family members associated with their address. No, they didn't. They took information from people in this sector that put that information out quite some time ago and put it out in front of her audience as if it was facts. Again, who takes photographs and uploads them to Google? Usually when that's done, it's done for the purpose of staging. For prospective tenants or for prospective owners. Nobody posts inside pictures of their fucking house and then upload them to Google knowing that anybody that Googles in the address can find the photos. That makes no fucking sense. Here, he's the defendant. Here, he's the plaintiff. Here, he's the plaintiff. And these are not these are different case numbers, okay? Two different cases. Here, he's a defendant. The division is domestic relations. Here, he's the plaintiff. Here, he's the plaintiff. And here, he's the fucking defendant. And although it looks like, based on the dates, that it was involving the same incident, at the end of the day, did you hear his deceased lover come here and say, I abused him? How the fuck do you know his lover was the abuser? How do you know QB wasn't the abuser? How do you know he wasn't the abuser? That looks like a history of domestic violence. In some instances, he's the alleged defendant, and in some instances, he's the alleged plaintiff. A lot of times, couples will file protection orders against each other. That's a game that toxic couples play with each other. Those are just the facts. Only to turn around and get right back together. Because it's the toxicity that's the glue in the fucking relationship. And what is it for a petition for, right? It's a petition for stalking, for no contact order. But they want to talk about other people's mental health. They want to talk about other people's criminal history. What is stalking? While they're calling other people stalkers, there you have court records that you petitioned the court. And I'm going to show you how I know you petitioned the court to get those records removed. Give me 1 second. Anytime you click on the case, do you see that? Why wouldn't the case be found? The case is still listed. Because they petitioned the court. Do you see the case? If the case number is there, there was a case. That's the instance of a person contacting the courts and having them remove that record. Now, is it a one-time incident? Nope. I'm going to show you how you know that's what they did, or that's what he did. Again, why wouldn't the court case, the case is still listed in the case number is still there. So therefore, there was a case. That's indicative of a person contacting the courts and possibly saying, this is domestic violence. See, a lot of things are protected under domestic violence. And a lot of master manipulators use that to their advantage, both men and women. Wait a minute, hold on for a second. Sorry, y'all. Let me finish up real quick. But I just want to show y'all what master manipulators do. See that? Now that's the third time. This is usually when they start to get comfortable with coming out and talking about other motherfucker shit, right? And pointing out other people's criminal history. And then I'm going to show you his actual criminal history, right? There will be no reason. And unbeknownst to him, I'm going to get the actual documents. Give me 1 second. But this is a game that these motherfuckers play. What about your alias, QB? Tony. That's one of your aliases, ain't it? That's one of your aliases, ain't it? Tony Gillenwater. Right? Is that a coincidence? And keep in mind, when a person gives an alias like that, that's another reason why motherfuckers feel guilty, feel comfortable doing certain shit, because they know that they only got charges under an alias. There's a lot of people have AKAs. So if they're giving the police the alias, like you remember, my arrest in September was under what? Was I arrested under my name? No, I was arrested under Jane Doe. And whatever alias you give the police at the time, that's what you're going to be booked under. Even though they may know your identity, once they run your fingerprints, if you're using an alias, you can give them an incorrect date of birth as well. Now, is it some coincidence that it happens to be, the offense happens to be a violation of a protection order? Did you have a protection order against a nigga named Tony Gillenwater? No, that's you, nigga. That's you. Here's the case number right here, right? And what is it involving? A misdemeanor class C, a protection order. It's a violation of a fucking protection order. Did you tell people about your sentence of you being sentenced to Cook County Jail for your offenses? Oh no, this is dating all the way back to goddamn 1997. And this is a violation. Do you see that? The VOS. That means you were on probation at the time that you violated it. That means you did something. You already had a conviction. Also keep in mind, y'all, after 7 years, even if you go through Philadelphia records, unless you go through another party or some type of or have some type of security clearance, you're only allowed to go back 7 years. Say, for instance, it was to come to my attention that, hey, this third-party reporting agency is reporting information that's beyond 7 years. They would be under law. The FCC law requires them to remove that information. It doesn't mean I don't have a criminal history. Dating, it doesn't mean I only have the charges that you're able to find currently. It means that you're seeing charges that occurred within the last 7 years. So don't ever think because a person you don't see, you're looking over the course of the 7 years, and because you don't see any charges, don't ever assume that means a person doesn't have a more extensive criminal history. It just means that by law, that's the only thing that they can report. And a lot of times, unless the court clerk is contacted and asks to remove this information under the FCC law, that's the reason why things aren't allowed to be on your credit report beyond 7 years, with the exception of a bankruptcy. That stays on your credit report for 10 years. Tell us about reckless conduct, QB. Why are you here talking about folks' criminal history and things? Talk about your arrest for reckless conduct. You weren't found innocent of that, were you? Before you had your record scrubbed. You weren't found innocent of that, were you? No, you were found guilty. But this is the hypocrisy in Black people. Every fucking live stream, and that's getting old. At this point, everybody in the beef sector and everybody in the Black sector knows I'm a convicted felon. Move the fuck on. Is that all you got? How many times do you get to sound like a broken record again and again and again? My criminal history, my criminal history, my criminal history. Let's talk about yours. Let's spill that tea for the YouTube streets. Spill this tea for the beef sector. Talk about your criminal history. The one you had before requesting that the courts remove your records from Cook County court records. Even though I'm going to get the actual cases in the within the next week. That much I promise you. So you can get here and lie about it if you want, and you're going to get popped. I want to allow you to lie about it, and then I'm going to come back and hit you with a TKO, a technical knockout. Every fucking time you get up here and lie. So your ass was found guilty. So not only did you not abide by a restraining order to stay the fuck away from a motherfucker, you continue to come back and stalk a motherfucker. The very same things that y'all get up here and accuse other motherfuckers of doing, you are the one that has a record for it. I don't have any charges for stalking, sir. I don't have any charges for violation of a protection order, sir. I don't have any domestic violence charges, sir. The fist fights I had and was arrested for was with women, sir. Is domestic violence not domestic violence? No. The fact of the matter is, same-sex Domestic violence is the same goddamn thing. It's the same thing. They allow gay men to come into shelters where women and children are that are victims of domestic violence as well. So therefore, the country, the laws, it's no freaking different. If you're an abuser, you're an abuser. Same-sex partners get abused as well. Transgender people get abused by their intimate partners as well. And your ass was found guilty. You were also found guilty of reckless fucking conduct. Right? So based on the dates, was Emmanuel your first abusive relationship? See, Emmanuel ain't here. See, and this is the thing, right? Don't let the motherfucker tell you he wasn't convicted. No, motherfucker, you were convicted and you served a part of your sentence. You were sentenced to jail time for your conduct. So apparently, based on the judge who heard your case, decided that you were guilty of what you had been charged with, and that your ass should do some jail time for it, and then you will also sentenced to in part a suspended sentence, which is why it says sentence to community service. That's a part of your suspended sentence. Clearly, your ass was charged at some point in time with a violation. That means while you were under supervision for having committed a crime that you had been found guilty of, your ass was still engaging in criminal activity. If it's good for the goose, it's good for the fucking gander. But they so damn quick to talk about somebody else's criminal history. Hey, Niedermeyer. So we the people want to know. Tell us about the ass whoopings. Don't just tell us about the ass whoopings that you allege Emmanuel gave to you. Tell us about the ass whoopings that began before you met Emmanuel. Because see, he ain't here to tell his story. We don't know if you were the abused or the abuser. And this is just a preamble. I'm just using this information in part. So when I really start to do my research, I'll be able to cross-reference some shit. And when I see certain shit, I'll know whether or not I'm on the right path. So go to your fucking channel and do some commentary about that. Go to your channel and answer the questions that have been asked by the people. Or go to your channel and continue to entertain and continue to fight your so-called self-appointed queen's motherfucking battles. Even though nothing was done or said to you that was disrespectful. This bitch pulled you in because she is incompetent to fight her own battles with somebody that can match her fucking energy. She's used to motherfuckers either cowing down or motherfuckers kissing her ass for what clout they believe they can get from this bitch. The whole beef, fuck all the smoke and mirrors. The whole beef got started is because the bitch got popped for telling a fucking lie and she didn't want to own up to it. And she didn't like the idea that I called her the fuck out on it. And I didn't even call her out specifically. I told the people in this sector, hey, don't just jump on that bandwagon. It's some receipts you need to go and see. The goddamn live stream is still up on this channel. Ain't shit been hidden. The live stream where I'm first addressing the bitch, that's not on private. It's still on this channel. For the people that like to come back and rewrite history. That's why the bitch got in her feelings. Because she wanted to do to me and to people in this sector what the fuck she's used to doing to people over there in the beef sector and then used to doing the Babe Nation, which is playing in your face, fucking lying through her fucking teeth and nobody saying anything. Because she's fine, babe. Okay? So y'all take it easy. I gotta dart out real fast. I heard my son come in. So okay, Nate. Okay. Hey, loyalty and love. Hey, everybody. Okay. So I'm gonna I just heard Ty come in. I gotta run. I gotta make a take care of something. I'll be listening in to different streams. But I just want to make that evident to y'all. When I finish airing these motherfuckers out, don't expect me to keep going back and forth, and these motherfuckers just get up here and lie, play grown ass people in their 40s playing games. They're on YouTube basically playing games, juvenile games at that. I'm just not going to do it. Okay. All right, y'all enjoy the rest of your evening. I'll catch up with you guys probably tomorrow, okay? All right, take care. Peace.